Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy. Kindly subscribe, share and like my videos, and also put the notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. In today's tutorial, I would like to show you how to make a simple shift dress, and I made use of two different fabric. The plain fabric is a doll face bridal satin, and I made use of just 1 yard, while the printed fabric is an Ankara print fabric. So let's get started with the upper part of the gown. The first step is to fold the plain fabric into two equally. The next step is to further fold it into two equally. So I practically folded it into 4. To know the wideness of the fabric you'll be working with, you divide the hip circumference by 4, then you add 4 inches sewing allowance to that. But if it's for a medium-sized person, you should be using 1.5 yard of this plain fabric. So by the time you fold it into 4, the wideness of the hip circumference will fit in properly. So after marking the starting line, which is also the shoulder line, the next step is to mark the neck measurements. So the neck width I'll be making use of is 3 inches. And the neck depth for the front piece is 4 inches. I'll connect these 2 points together to form a curved neckline. The neck depth for the back piece is 1.5 inches. I'll connect the 2 points to form a curved neckline. So since we'll be cutting the body of the dress with the sleeves together, I'll be marking down the measurements I took from a center back down to a sleeve length, which is 14 inches. So I placed my tape on the fold to mark 14 inches. Now on those 14 inches, I'll mark 1 inch below that point to connect it to the neck width, which will form the slant shoulder. After taking down the center back to the sleeve length measurement on your client's body, at that point where that sleeve length stops, you need to take the round sleeve of the hem. So our round sleeve is 10 inches. I divided it by 2 and that's 5 inches. But since I don't want it to be too tight, I'm going to add extra 3 inches to that 5 inches, and that will be 8 inches altogether. The next step is to connect these 2 points together to form the round sleeve opening. The next step is to mark the half length of the dress. So since our vertical measurement taken from the shoulder to our hip circumference is 26 inches, I am going to add 2 inches to that, and that will be 28 inches altogether. So to get the half length of this exact dress, you need to take the shoulder to hip measurement to add 2 inches to that. So on this line, I'll mark 1 inch in, and on the hem line, I'll divide the hip circumference by 4 plus 4 inches sewing allowance included. Obviously, you can see that after joining the 2 points, it formed a straight line. But if it was for a person with a bigger hip size, it will form an A-line shape. So at this point, which is under the armhole, I'm going to create a little curve here. And the reason for this curve is to prevent the sides of the fabric from folding after sewing. The next step is to cut out the neck depth for the back piece first, before cutting out the neck depth for the front piece. Now I'll cut out the neck depth for the front piece, and I'm also going to add a neck slit of about 4 inches at the center of the fold as shown. For the front piece, I'll be cutting out a neck slit facing. The next step is to place the facing on the right side of the fabric to secure the facing by half an inch in form of a V shape. After attaching the neck slit facing, you should overlock the edges of the facing. The next step is to place the back piece on the front piece to secure the shoulder by half an inch. Now I'll spread out the dress as shown to secure the round neckline using a bias tape. Now I'm going to fold both the front piece and the back piece on each other to secure the sides by 1 inch. The next step is to turn the dress to the right side of the fabric to secure the hem of the dress using an overlocking machine. But for those of us that do not have an overlocking machine, you can easily fold the hem of the dress in by half an inch and further folding it in by half an inch. Attach the printed fabric to this plain half-cut dress. All you have to do is to take the round circumference of the hem opening. This is 47 inches. Since the printed fabric will be pleated on the plain fabric, I will multiply that 47 inches by 2, and that will be 94 inches. This simply means that the width of the printed fabric should be 94 inches wide. To know the extra length you need for the printed fabric, you need to take the exact measurements of the plain fabric first. So here I have 26 inches and the length of the gown I want is 34 inches. I will subtract 34 inches from the 26 inches and that will be 8 inches. So I need extra 8 inches to complete the full length of the dress. So the length of the printed fabric is supposed to be 8 inches, but I added 4 inches to that, making it 12 inches altogether. So the reason I added that 4 inches is because if you look very well at the thumbnail, you can see that the printed fabric was placed 2 inches above the hem of the plain dress. The next step is to fold this fabric into 2 equally. Now I'll take this to the sewing machine to secure the opening by half an inch. Alright guys, so I've secured the opening and you can see that it doesn't have any opening at all. So the next step now is to secure the top of this fabric by folding it in by half an inch and further folding it in by half an inch all through. And I'll also secure the bottom of this fabric by folding it in by half an inch and further folding it in by half an inch. Obviously, I have secured both the top and the bottom sides of this fabric. So I'm going to take the plain dress with the printed fabric to my sewing machine to show you how to attach them together. To attach them together, it's very simple. All you have to do is to spread out the hem of the plain dress, making sure that it's just a single piece as shown, so you don't do the mistake of attaching both the front piece and the back piece together. The next step is to place the printed fabric on the right side of the plain fabric, making sure that it's 2 inches above the hem as shown, after which I'll start splitting on it. At some point, you get to a stage where it won't be convenient for you to keep pleating on the plain fabric. So all you have to do is to stop and take out the fabric from the machine footer. Now I'm going to spread out the hem to make sure that I can properly sew it conveniently. So I'll just stitch where I stopped to continue the sewing. So the next step now is to cut the plain fabric you'll be attaching to the sleeve opening. So taking the round sleeve measurements, I have 14 inches. So this fabric is folded into 2. Since the round sleeve opening of the dress is 14 inches, I'll multiply it by 2 and that'll be 28 inches. The wideness of the fabric should be 28 inches, while the length, I'm making use of 10 inches. By the time I sew it, it becomes 9 inches. But if you want yours to be shorter, you can just reduce it. So the next step is to separate this fold so it gives us 2 pieces, which will be for the 2 sleeves. Now I'm going to fold the fabric into 2 equally to secure the sides by ½ an inch. The next step is to secure one of the edges by folding it in by ½ an inch and further folding it in by ½ an inch. I should also repeat the same sewing process for the second piece. The next step is to attach this extra fabric to the sleeve of the dress. Please take note that this is the wrong side of the extra fabric. So I'm going to insert the sleeve of the dress into the extra fabric as shown to pleat the extra fabric on the sleeve opening. And I'll also repeat the same process for the second sleeve. Alright guys, thanks for watching to the very end. I hope this tutorial was helpful. You should give it a try, and if you're new to my channel, my name is Nancy. Kindly subscribe, share and like my videos, and please also put on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Thank you.